Despicable Me 4 is a masterpiece. Now, let me explain. I've always been a sucker for the Despicable Me franchise from 2010 when I was 9 years old, seeing what would become one of my favorite animated movies of all time for the first time, to when I was a teenager, rewatching it and feeling all these new emotions and feelings that I couldn't comprehend as a child, to as an adult watching it and seeing this protagonist who's supposed to be a villain, but you love because of his awkward humor, his love for his kids, and obviously his minions. At the end of the day, not the Minions movies, but the Despicable Me movies are about family, and not in the dumb cliche way that the Fast and Furious movies are about family.
You don't turn your back on family.
Because it doesn't shove it down your throat and say family is more important than anything, but you see it by their actions. Without spoiling anything about the new movie, essentially the plot of this is at the beginning of the film, Gru arrests this big supervillain, and he breaks out and he's coming for Gru. So they have to move Gru and his family to essentially a witness protection program, and they have new identities, and Gru has to become Chet, this overly friendly solar panel salesman, which sounds dreadful to him, but he goes above and beyond to try to protect his family and his kids and his wife by being this person who is the exact opposite of his persona. Let's also just talk about the Minions for a second, because I'm a strong believer that the Minions movies aren't good because of their lack of purpose. When they are Gru's minions and have a purpose, or even the efficiency to do stupid comedic tasks like in Despicable Me 4 to have a minion cleaning crew come in and clean the baby's mess and change his diaper. Like, it doesn't even have to be that smart or groundbreaking writing, but something about the recipe of the minions leading behind Gru and his family just works that doesn't work in the Minions movies by themselves. Now, I do have a bit of a childish sense of humor, and I want to laugh at dumb things being said or done by the minions. And I'll admit, there's a level of kid humor that lands to us adults. There's also a level where it feels immature to expect adults to laugh at that. The Garfield movie is a good example. I saw that a couple weeks ago, and the humor was only surface level. Sure, they attempted the family thing with Garfield's dad, but the humor in this film was so basic level. Cat eat a lot, wastes a ton of money, and does whatever he wants. But I feel you at very least need a kid level humor while still entertaining the adult brain. Because regardless of what funny joke they are making in Garfield, my mind was thinking things like, how is he ordering all that food? How is his owner not completely in debt? Oh, that's a lot of food drones, and just whatever they try to do for comedic effect had you ask more questions about their situation. I know some people say it's a kids' movie, turn your brain off, but there are movies that can balance that perfectly. Shrek 2, for example, is a movie you love as a kid and you think it's amazing, and you go back in as an adult and you pick up on all these new jokes and references that are there for the adults, and it makes you enjoy it even more as an adult. Now, Despicable Me 4 is kind of in the middle. It's not as dumb as Garfield and doesn't insult your intelligence, but it's also not as high level as Shrek 2. So, like, there's a joke in here where Maxine, the big bad in this film, has to stop and get gas for his ship, and he's at the gas station and he's trying to pay, and its insert card removed rapidly, and he struggles and he keeps struggling and he keeps struggling. Then eventually the screen tells him to go see cashier inside, and then he has to go see the cashier inside, and it's just like this big thing that shouldn't be. Maybe that doesn't resonate with everyone. I can't tell you how many gas station pumps have given me trouble with their card readers, but at the same time there are a lot of dumb jokes, including the minions. Like, someone will say the word bottom and they go, hey, bottom, and I'll laugh at that because that's my dumb sense of humor. It also helps to be very inebriated during these viewings, and that's something I do quite often. But I still find these types of jokes funny, and I think there's a certain level of leeway in character work where you don't have to try as hard in later movies with these characters, with nuanced jokes, with nuanced setups when you've done so well to set it up previously. The two first Despicable Me movies specifically set up all the characters so well and so close to at least my heart where I give them a lot of leeway throughout the film because you're already so invested in them. So to say thing after thing is happening in this film, sure. But I love seeing all the characters in the dumb side missions. And like I said, sure, dumb jokes, but a lot of those are right up my alley. I have a very childish sense of humor, and I think it kind of catered to that. I also think if you have a childish sense of humor and maybe you're a little bit inebriated, they'll land to you as well. And honestly, if you love this film, that's great. I did too. And I honestly understand if you didn't. I could sit down and break down this film of why it's not objectively good and the issues that are in the film. But I don't want to do that because I love my Despicable Me movies. I love watching the Minions. This is just something that has resonated me and connected to me and something I enjoy going to see in theaters. And just to not take it that serious, I mean, I don't think this film takes itself too serious. It kind of pokes and makes fun at a lot of other things that happen in other movies. Not even in a that's bad, we're making fun of you type of way, but in a that's been done so many times, we're going to do it too type of way. Like the AVL, the Anti-Villain League, is using the minions at their headquarters while Gru and his family are in their hideout house. And they test out some super serum on 5 of them and turn them into superheroes, which was pretty much a combination of like the Fantastic Four and the Incredibles. And I don't know why it was just so funny to me, but when they were like bursting out of the chambers that they were in, I was literally just thinking that's literally the Fantastic Four. That's the Fantastic Four right there. And it was a combination, like I said, of the Fantastic Four and the Incredibles, but they just have a lot of references to like other movies and other things that have been done in film. So wrapping up, I will say one thing I did not like about the film, and I will say is bad, is the Universal logo. Why were the minions not singing over that? That is what we came here to see. That is why I paid money for my ticket. Why are they not singing over the Universal logo? But did you guys see Despicable Me 4? What did y'all think? Did you think it was great like me? Did you have a good time? Did you think it was a little stupid? Let me know down below. Peace.